the Ice Age, humans weren't hunters. They were hunted by saber-tooths, by dire wolves, by giant bears. Every night was a gamble with death. So if you had to survive one night in their world, what single weapon would you carry? Tell me in the comments, because your answer might decide our next mystery. The Ice Age was merciless, but what made it truly terrifying was not the cold alone. It was the monsters that ruled it. Creatures so powerful, so relentless, that even the bravest hunters feared the dark. Predators that tested not just human strength, but human imagination. Tonight, we travel back tens of thousands of years into a world where survival meant outsmarting the deadliest killers nature ever created. And by the end of this story, you'll know the secret of how humans endured a predator's world and turned fear itself into survival. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture a vast plain of snow, the silence broken only by the crunch of frozen earth beneath your feet. Then, suddenly, the sound of a roar. Not from any animal you know, but from a cave lion. Bigger, heavier, and more fearless than the lions of today. They hunted in groups, slipping through the shadows of icy forests, striking when men least expected it. A single misstep, one wrong movement, and the cave lion would claim you before you could even scream. But the cave lion was not the only terror. In the distance, dire wolves circled. Larger than modern wolves, their jaws could crush bone. Imagine a pack of 20 surrounding you, their eyes glowing in the moonlight, waiting for weakness. Humans were not top predators here. They were prey. How do you survive when the night itself feels alive with hungry eyes? And then, the most dreaded of them all, the saber-toothed cat, its fangs curved like daggers, longer than your hand. One strike could pierce the thickest hide. Archaeologists believe these cats ambushed their prey, waiting in tall grass or snowbanks, leaping with terrifying precision. Think of the fear. Every rustle in the dark, every shadow on the ice, could mean death. Would you dare sleep, knowing a saber-tooth might be stalking you? Yet even the saber-tooth was rivaled by the short-faced bear, taller than a man when it stood, faster than a horse when it ran. Its sheer size made caves unsafe. No door, no fire, no wall could keep it out. Early humans must have felt small, fragile, when this beast appeared on the horizon. And still, they survived. How? What secret did they unlock that let them endure in a land crawling with killers? Every evening, families faced the same haunting question. How do we make it to sunrise? Fire helped, yes. But fire was also a signal. The glow could draw predators from miles away. Hides kept them warm, but the scent of blood still lingered. Shelters gave them walls, but walls could be broken. So survival meant more than tools. It meant courage, it meant strategy, and it meant never being truly alone. Picture it. A small band of humans huddled near a fire, the howls of wolves echoing across the frozen valley, spears gripped tightly, hearts pounding. They were not fearless, they were terrified. But fear became their teacher. Fear sharpened their instincts. Fear forced them to invent new ways of fighting back. And little by little, fear turned into power. But predators were clever too. The dire wolf tested the edges of the firelight, probing for weakness. The saber-tooth learned patience, stalking for days. The cave lion struck when the snowstorm blinded its prey, and still, somehow, humans endured. Perhaps it was not strength that saved them, but something far greater: the ability to imagine tomorrow, to plan ahead, to believe in survival, even when surrounded by death. Now let me ask you, if you were standing in the Ice Age, surrounded by beasts larger and stronger than you, would you fight or would you hide? Because this is the choice our ancestors faced every single day, and their decision shaped the destiny of humanity itself. The Ice Age predators were terrifying, yes, but they were also teachers. They forced humans to sharpen stones into blades, to tie them to spears, to hunt in organized groups. They forced us to watch the skies, track footprints, read the earth itself. Every battle lost was a lesson. Every close escape was a strategy gained. And in the end, predators did more than threaten humans. They transformed them. Imagine a child sitting by the fire, listening to elders whisper stories of the beasts outside. The roar of the lion, the strike of the saber-tooth, the howl of the wolves. These stories were not just entertainment. They were survival manuals. They told the young what to fear and how to endure. They carved instincts into memory, and through these stories, humanity was forged. But one predator was unlike any other: the short-faced bear. Archaeologists believe it may have been the largest land predator of its time. Imagine walking through a valley only to see a shadow rise from the snow, taller than two men. You run, but the bear runs faster. You hide, but the bear's nose finds you. This was not just an animal. To humans, it was a nightmare made real. And yet, evidence shows humans stood their ground. Spears embedded in bones, hunting wounds carved into fossils. Somehow, against impossible odds, humans dared to fight back. And that is the heart of the Ice Age. It was not a story of domination. It was a story of defiance. The predators were stronger, faster, more terrifying. But humans had something they did not: the will to unite, the power to adapt, and the courage to trust one another in the darkest nights. So tonight, as you sit safely under your roof, think of the world your ancestors faced. A world where every night was a gamble, where the roar of a predator could mean the end. And yet, they survived. Not because they were the strongest, but because they learned to be more than prey. And that survival shaped us. It gave us the instinct to guard each other, the habit of storytelling, the courage to face the unknown. The predators are gone now, but their shadow lives on in us. Every time we gather around a campfire, every time we tell stories of monsters in the dark, we are remembering the Ice Age, remembering the fear that made us human. So, what other mysteries of the Ice Age should we uncover next? Tell me in the comments, because your idea might become our next story. And if this journey into the predator's world made you shiver, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because the next video will reveal a truth even more chilling: how some predators vanished forever, while others still walk beside us today.